Can you guys see my screen? Yes. Okay, you can see my screen, right? So we have the assignment folder. So once you open the assignment folder, just look for your name and you can just click on your name. Let me use this Iowa Precious as an example. So there's 21 assignment link and also the demo. So this is how you submit. You submit the live demo and also the GitHub repository. So it's just the same format. You see, it's very simple and straightforward. So we can easily track how you've been faring in the program. So if you need to modify anything, just click on download. Once you click on download, you'll be able to edit it on your system and also come here, click on upload new version, then choose the new version of the file you want to upload and click upload new version, as easy as ABC. So that's how it works. You download it. I'm downloading it already. You can see I'm downloading it. Once downloaded, you come here and say upload new version. Then you choose the file from your system and you can upload the new version. So that's how it works basically. And it's
sorry,
far better than the existing system. So that's the first thing. Second thing is also the slide directory. In the slide directory, you can see all the slides for this program from training 1 to training 14, and also you can easily download and also read them. Then regarding the videos, we will not be sharing the link to the video. You can always check them on YouTube. Make sure you just subscribe to our YouTube channel so that anytime we upload the video, you receive a notification that, okay, there's a new video. Then lastly, regarding the GitHub repo, we already know where to find it. It's on our GitHub account. So just go there and also check it out. If there's any new code that you want to check out, you see it there. So that's how it works basically. So any question before we move on with today's class?
yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
James.
I don't know if it's possible that you could you drop some of these links since we can access some of them again, like the GitHub link and just on the group.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said, is it possible that you could drop some of those links on the group for us, like the GitHub links we don't have access to anymore? And then also this uploading new version, does it that means it replaces the previous, not like I think it's creating double documents, right? It replaces the ones that have been there before.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Not minding the name that I save it to, it just replaces what I have before.
Just make sure you don't modify the file name. I've not tried that yet, but don't try to modify the file name. Just use your name and yeah, that's all. So yeah, King, please, you can drop the GitHub and the repo so that people can have access to it. Then also check the file, this slide and directory in the work drive. You will see the slides so that you can have access to it. Then also the attendance sheet, you can see how far you've been doing the program. So in case you need to check anything, you can see it in real time. So any other question? Okay, so since there's no other question, yeah, King, you can have the floor.
Hey. Morning, everyone. Yeah, welcome to today's class. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Okay. Right. So today we'll be looking into Ethers.js. This is going to be our introductory class into Ethers.js. For those of us coming from the JavaScript background, we understand that whenever you see like a package or a name with a suffix of .js, you understand that it's going to be what a JavaScript library. Yeah, so far we're seeing smart contracts, how to write smart contracts, how to deploy, making use of Remix, and it has been an interesting journey. But what we're moving into right now is how can you interact with your applications. We know smart contract address. We can access the smart contract address. We can access we can write smart contracts and the rest. But in terms of building a real world application that is like your front end, your back end applications, how can we interact with the blockchain, especially from the JavaScript view? This is where Ethers.js and Adapt comes in play. What they help you to do is they help you they help you connect with your blockchain from your JavaScript application. Now, Ethers.js is a popular JavaScript library that provides a powerful and user-friendly interface for interacting with the Ethereum blockchain. So what is a comprehensive and compact library designed for seamless interaction with Ethereum, Arbitrum, and other ENV compatible blockchains and the ecosystem. So just as I've said earlier on, Ethers.js is quite popular and is based on JavaScript. So for those of us who will be moving into the front end track, the back end track, you need to really harness your skills, your Ethers.js skills, because without it, you'll be limited in interacting with Ethereum, Arbitrum, and other like Ethereum virtual machine compatible blockchains and the rest. Now, what are the features and functionalities of Ethers.js? One is blockchain interaction. What it does is that it simplifies the process of connecting to Ethereum nodes, allowing developers to interact with the Ethereum blockchain, send transactions, and retrieve data from the network. So when we're talking about Ethereum nodes, meaning Ethers.js actually simplifies the process of you connecting your MetaMask to your application. So you have the ability to connect your wallet, your MetaMask, your Ethereum nodes, JSON RPC providers, and the rest through Ethers.js. Another functionality and feature is smart contracts interaction. So it offers an intuitive and robust API for deploying, querying, and interacting with and reading state. Ethers.js offers you firstly the simplicity of connecting to Ethereum nodes. Secondly, it actually allows you to interact with smart contracts. So whenever you deploy your smart contract or whenever you write your smart contract, making use of Ethers.js, you can interact with your smart contract. Now, remember the interface we used to interact with our smart contract on Remix, where you can call functions, read variable states, and the rest. Using Ethers.js, you could also access all of this. Thirdly, you need to understand that Ethers.js helps to manage wallets. So it supports the management of Ethereum wallets, enabling users to create new wallets, manage multiple accounts, sign transactions securely, and do private keys. Now, the functionalities and features of Ethers.js, they are numerous. They are actually like a lot. So we'll just take these three. Later on, you can always go online, research more functionalities and features about Ethers.js. And the more you learn about it, the most better for you. All right. So in Ethers.js, there are certain terminologies we would come across and certain functionalities we would need in accessing when writing our code. One of such is providers. What is a provider? A provider in Ethers. So I keep hearing like, okay, chat. All right. So providers in Ethers is a read-only abstraction to access the blockchain data. So in Ether.js, a provider is an object responsible for communicating with the Ethereum blockchain. It abstracts the interaction with the network, allowing you to retrieve information from the blockchain and send transactions. Last week, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we spoke about abstraction and we explained what abstraction means. But the abstraction was in the Solidity view. But it's also, you can actually liken it to what we're talking about right now. So when we're talking about abstraction, is what provider helps you to do in Ethers.js. It kind of is responsible for communicating with the Ethereum blockchain. So how does it communicate with the Ethereum blockchain? We would see how that does. But to understand that, we need to understand that there are different types of providers. Right? There's the Web3 provider, there's the Alchemy provider, Etherscan provider, JSON RPC provider. So making use of this provider, you can connect to your MetaMask. You can connect to your injected provider. So there's like also the injected provider where it kind of checks the browser, especially if you are integrating your Ethers.js with your front end side, your client side. So like there's this injected provider where it gets to check what wallet or is like available in the browser and is connected at that particular point. So using these providers, there are different types. You can interact with the blockchain. So just like since we understand how MetaMask interacts with our smart contracts and our blockchain, that's what provider helps you to do using Ethers.js. Depending on your use case, you can choose the provider that best fits your needs. So I think during the practical session, we understand what they do and how they do. For some of them, for example, depending on some of them actually requires API keys. That is, you need to sign up and then make use of the URL provided to you. Also, we have signers. So a signer in Ethers is an abstraction of an Ethereum account, which can be used to sign messages and transactions and send signed transactions to the Ethereum network to execute state-changing operations. Now, when we're talking about signing messaging on blockchain, we're talking about, in our previous classes, using Remix. If you want to deploy with MetaMask, especially if you want to deploy a contract with MetaMask or something, now you see a pop-up that asks you, that like kind of list out what's happening and asks you for permission, right? Now, that's how you sign messages and transactions on the blockchain. So using a signer in Ethers, it allows you to verify that you own a particular account. So that's why even when you want to send transactions, for those of us that are like crypto-based, where we want to send tokens, or even the text token we have created previously, for those of us that kind of like wanted to send, that wants to transfer a token from one account to the other, we get a verification pop-up, approval pop-up, where it asks you to approve, to verify you're the one trying to make the transaction, and then you can proceed with the transaction or you can reject it. So the signer in Ethers helps you to sign messages. It can help you to send signed transactions, and all of this in order to execute state-changing operations. So just like I've said, it allows you to verify that you own an account, so you can send transactions to the blockchain from that account. And then we'll be talking about application binary interface. The short form is ABI. Anywhere you see ABI. ABI is very crucial in Ethers.js. It's very important. You would make use of it almost at all times. Whenever you want to interact with a smart contract, you want to read a smart contract, you want to write to a smart contract, that is, you want to like perform, you want to interact, like whatever you want to do to a smart contract, you need the API of that smart contract. Now, in the context of Ethereum and smart contracts, it refers to a standardized way to encode and decode. It refers to a standardized way to encode and decode data that is sent to and received from smart contracts. Now, Ethers.js uses the API to handle the encoding and decoding of data automatically. When you create a contract instance, you provide its API, which allows the library to understand how to interact with the contract functions and data. Now, when you open up your Remix and you compile the code, underneath you would see API, where you can decide to fetch the API. So with that API, you can make use of it inside of your JavaScript file. You just come there, paste it into your JavaScript file. And then with that, the library now would understand how to interact with the contracts, functions, and data. So it's just more like an abstraction where it kind of knows that, okay, these are the functions, these are the variables available in our smart contract, and this is how to interact with the smart contract functions and data. So that's it for API. As we move on to the practical session, please, I would like us to really pay close attention to it. All right. So Oracle, you can take over the practical session.
GM, everyone. So this morning we'll be doing something entirely different from what we've been doing. Since the beginning of this program, we've been talking about blockchain, solidity, security, and stuff like that. But this time around, we'll be seeing how to apply these things in real life, how to build applications that connect to the blockchain. So this time around, we're going to our GitHub repo. So once you're on the GitHub repo, you should see something like this. Let me share my screen. You see something like this, and you can look for training 14 and click on index.html. So this is the code I'll be using for today, and you can see it's very simple and straightforward. If you come back to the home page, you can see something like this. It's asking you to add a code space. Just click on add new code space, and it will create a new code space for you. Just click on this, then create a new code space. It will create something like this for you where you can see your code. So this is it. Then I will open my 2014. You can see that I have the source code here already. So it's so this is also an IDE, but it's web-based. So you don't need to download anything. You don't need to install anything on your system. Everything you want, you can do it online, including downloading stuff from npm, you know, previewing your website and stuff like that. It's just like VS Code, but it's online based. So let's create a new file and let's name it practice.html. So if you make the create this practice.html, you see a new file. So let me create the HTML body tag. So one thing is that if you're a backend developer, you don't need to worry about all this. It's just for you to understand how this whole system works and for you to get familiar with the concept of providers, concept of signers and stuff like that. So if you are not a front-end developer or you don't have any programming experience, don't worry, we go a step at a time. So the first thing you have to do is once you come here, click on exclamation mark. It's going to bring on this email abbreviation. So just click on it. Oh, let me zoom in. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So let me undo. So click on exclamation mark and email abbreviation. Also, if you need to zoom in on your screen, there's a button on the screen that you can use to zoom in. So yeah. Okay. So the first thing you have to do is that we have to include a script that connects to the correct version of Ethers.js that we want. So this script here is what we'll be using. Just copy it and paste it into your head tag. This is the head tag from here to your head tag. Once you paste it into your head tag, the next thing is for you to start writing the code. Okay, there's nothing in the body tag for now. Let me just save it. You see, the only thing we did is add that exclamation mark to bring this boilerplate. After that, we added the script to the head tag. And now we want to preview the website. Let's go and download the live server extension. Let's see how it works. Okay, this is live server extension. You can install it on your code space. It's like installing live server on your system if you have done any web development stuff before. But this time around, it's online based, so you don't need to worry about downloading any stuff in your system, and it saves you a lot of data too. So the next thing is click on Go Live. As you can see that there's an icon here at the bottom of the screen named Go Live. Just click on Go Live, and the moment you click on Go Live, you can see it's showing server started at port 550. So, and also the browser interrupted, blah, blah, blah. So you can just click on the top of your browser to approve the browser. So to approve the new tab. Once you approve the new tab, it's going to show you all your files and everything. You can see that it's showing me this. So what you do is just click on index. It's yeah, you're on the page already. But we want to go to practice.html because that's what we are coding on, practice.html. So let me copy the link that I got from this live server. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to add practice.html at the back. Then I will copy it. Let me bring it back to this place and paste it in my tab. You can see that I can see this URL there, which is what I added here. If I come and say this is a sample tab, you can see that you can see the sample tab here. So that's how it works basically. So now I'll be taking some questions. Trust, if you have any question, please you can unmute. Yeah, Trust, are you there? Trust, are you there? If you have any question, please ask me before we continue.
Hello.
Hello.
Please,
yeah.
You should like you show what you did because I really did not. I didn't know how you. I was not like I didn't see how you got to the code space and the rest. Like, can you like just do a quick
Okay, so once you come to the, I can see my screen, right?
Of course, I can see your screen.
So click on this code button at the top of the repo, then click on add new workspace. It's going to open a workspace for you. So once you open the workspace, you'll see something like this, and you can easily find the index.html located under 2014. Then you can create your own file. Then that's everything you need to do. Then if you want to view the HTML website, if you want to view it, you can download Live Server, which is an extension. So this is what I did. I downloaded the Live Server, I installed it, then I got
you feel like basic VS Code, like this VS Code online.
Hello. Okay. So this is the website, and you can see that we have port 550. I can stop the server by clicking on the icon. Then if I want to restart it, I'll just click on go live again, and it will restart. Then it will open a new tab where you will see something like this. You can go to 2014. If you go to 2014, you see that there is nothing under 2014, and that's because what you are seeing here is the content of index.html. So what you are seeing here is the content of index.html. Let me prove that to you by adding something like a p tag. Let's say hello index.html. So once I do this, I can easily come back to the document, and you can see that there's hello index.html here now. So it's going to like refresh in real time. So once you are done with this, you can now try to go back to your practice. Yeah.
Restricted to blockchain, like to your repo that you are clicking it from. Like it's just restricted to this repo.
Is what?
The code space we are opening now is only like restricted to this particular code base, like this particular repository, not like any other repository, or you can just have any other, you can use it to write any other thing you want to write that is not related to blockchain, like those related to BIH.
Yeah, you can use it for anything you want, basically. It doesn't have to be this repo alone. If you have any other repo that you want to work on, instead of downloading it on your system, you can just click on, the button, and you are good to go. Hope I've been able to answer your question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oluwatosin, are you there? Oluwatosin Oluwatoba, you are raising up your hand. Yeah, you can also drop your comment on at the what's it called the message input, you can drop it. So let's continue. So once we are done with this, we can't really see anything now for now because what we have is just basic HTML tag with just this script added. We added this script, and this script is the Ethers.js 5.2. So then I want to change the title. Let me change it simple dApp for practice. So this is basically, you can see that it's straightforward. Now, if I refresh this page now, you can see that there's simple dApp for practice at the top of the tab. So that's how it works. Okay. So once we are done with this, we can't really use Safari because I'm using Safari. I have to look for Brave browser or something that can really help me to connect to MetaMask because there's no way I can install MetaMask on Safari. I have to use MetaMask. Let me use this one. I see that I've been trying to. Let me close tabs. Close. Okay. So what I will do is I will copy the URL of my. We lost that tab. Let me try to open my browser again. Brave. Let's go back to tab. Let's copy the code. And this. The moment I copy the code, you can see that it's connecting to the port already. It has to, I have to sign in. So I have to stop sharing my screen for a while. Sorry. I have to sign in. Okay. Can I stop sharing my screen already? Hello, are you there? Can you guys still see my screen?
No, we can't.
No,
You can't see my screen. What about now? Can you see my screen? Okay.
No, we can't see your screen.
Can you see my screen? No. I have to just. I'm trying to log into my GitHub account. So. So I'm sharing my screen now, so you can have access to my screen. You can see that we have this practice 14. Let me move this workspace to Brave browser. If you're using Safari, you will not be able to install MetaMask on your Safari, so it's going to be a bit difficult for you to grab the concept of connecting to MetaMask and the likes. So I'm opening it in another browser. It's taking forever for this workspace to come up. Yeah, so you can use the opportunity to ask for any question. If you have any question you want to ask, please kindly ask. Let's go live. So we are live now and can see what I was talking about. Never mind this pop up. Let me just add practice.html to the end of the link. This is the practice file, and anything you do here is going to reflect in the URL that we talked. So the next thing is, after adding this, you have to add a script tag, which is where you write your code. Then you have to make it type is equal to module. next thing is adding your provider. So if you go here, you can see that there is a way you can add your provider, who is how are you going to connect to maybe like your MetaMask, your maybe you have a custom RPC provider or stuff like that. That's what provider is all about. It's just for you to retrieve information from the blockchain. So it's a read only. So what we can do now is by using this line of code on line 12, I'm trying to zoom in a bit. By using this line of code on line 12, you can easily have access to your MetaMask. If you have MetaMask installed on your browser, let's just add that code, which is provider is equal to new Ethers.web3 provider. So by doing this, if you save it now, if you save this line of code, that's all you need to prompt your MetaMask. Then you have to like, okay, now that you are sure that you've been able to set up your provider properly, the next thing is request for the account connected to MetaMask. You can have thousands of accounts connected to your MetaMask, or you can request for anyone you want. You can request for 2, you can request for 3. So to do that, there's a way we can do it by using this simple line of code, which is called let me come here. You have a wait. This provider here, just say, oh, it's working already. So you can say provider.send ETH request account. Then this line of code on line 14 is going to like open your MetaMask. So you can see that my MetaMask is opened already, and that's because I see and you see it's opening my MetaMask already by doing that. So if I come here and I refresh, you see that my MetaMask will pop up. And that's how to connect to MetaMask. That line of code is enough for you to connect to MetaMask. So you can see I have a different account to my MetaMask. So I'm going to select all the accounts I want to connect to. So I say next, connect. You see that it is connected, but you can't really see anything for now. And anytime I refresh, it's not going to prompt me because I'm connected, already. So there's no need to be connected again. The only way I can see the status of this connection is by opening my MetaMask extension. Then I will come to the top of this page and see that account 1 is connected to this particular website. You can also disconnect from here. See, it is disconnected already. So let me now refresh. See that when I refresh, it prompts me again now. I disconnected from MetaMask using the disconnect button. Although you can have your own custom disconnect button that will be on your website too. But for now, we don't want to use that. Okay, so the next thing now is that we want to work on getting the list of accounts. So you can just like count is equal to accounts is equal to. So now every account you are getting by calling this method, if you save this account constant variable here, you can have a console.log account. Let's do that. So when you say console.log account and you come to your inspection mode in your browser, you can see there's an array. And that array has one address. Let's try to refresh again. Let's try to disconnect. If we disconnect, you can see I want to disconnect. Disconnect this account. I'm disconnected already. And I refresh. Please take note of the account on the screen. It's 0xEA5. So yeah, so that's the account is currently connected to. The moment I come here and I say disconnect, it's no longer connected. So when I refresh, it's going to prompt me again that, okay, which account do you want to connect to? I can switch to this account. Okay, this account I want to connect to this website. And you see that the account returned this time around is 0x63, which is the account I connected to. Then you can also come here again, disconnect. Let's try to disconnect this time around. Disconnect this account. You see, I'm disconnected already. And I will do this. Then I'll select multiple accounts, then I'll connect. I'm connecting two accounts at once. You can see that instead of getting one account, I'm getting two accounts. Oh, both accounts are connected to this particular website. So, and when you go to your MetaMask, you can see that both accounts are actually connected. You can see in the code. So that's how it works basically. Now, the next thing is how do we do more stuff? There are a lot of stuff that you can do. You can also get the balance of a particular address in your code. Okay, if you are someone that's very conversant with HTML, CSS and stuff and JavaScript, you can easily build a simple dApp right now that can show people their account. But it's beyond the scope of this class. I just want to show you how to use Ethers.js and how to connect to a basic provider. And the provider we are using right now is Web3 provider, which allows us to connect to wallets like MetaMask and the likes. So now what we can do now is that we can also come here to say, let's go to Ether scan. You can say Ether scan. We can go to Ether scan. Secular Ether scan. Oh, let me go to Arbitrum. Sorry, Arbitrum. Yeah, we're still using this Arbitrum, and you can see we have a lot of transaction happening every 26 around every 20 seconds. That's like the average block time. So let's look for an account that we can use. You can see that there's an account that just performed a transaction. So this account, I want to check it. So you can see that this account has about 0.0009 Ether. So let's copy the address and bring it into our code. Then we are going to programmatically query the balance of that address. And the only way we can do that is by using this function that await provider.send ETH get balance, then the address you want to get the balance of. So let me copy this line of code and I will bring it here and I will say, you can say const balance is equal to this, and you'll be able to get the address of any, you'll be able to get the balance of any address you want using this simple line of code on the blockchain. So now let's say console.log balance. You can see that you can console.log the balance, which is going to return back in way. You see, you can see that there's let me refresh. You can see that there's a number at the top. This way is in way, but it has been hexadecimally encoded. So for us to convert it into Ether or way, yeah, something you can see like decimal. We have to copy it to this our console, then paste it. You can see this is the balance of that particular address. Let's go and check it if it is true. You can see it is 9247 blah 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 blah, which corresponds to what we can see here, 924 something blah blah. This is in way. So if we convert this way to Ether now, you see that it will correspond to what we have on the Ether scan. Let's say way to Ether converter. If we go to way to Ether converter and we do the way we used to do, let's say way, you can see that it corresponds to what you have on the blockchain. So that's how to get the balance of any address programmatically. So then apart from that, again, you can also do more stuff. You can check the current block number using this line of code. This one is intuitive, something you can try when you on your own, but let me try and do it. I'm coming. Let me try to add that to this line. You can see on the console block number is equal to this. So it's going to be like we are getting the block number. You can say console.log block number. So if you do this, you go to your this, you can see there's a number here, and that number represents the block number. Let me try to zoom in. It represents the block number. If I copy it, let me paste it. You can see that this is the block number, which is 11866142. And check the current block number on Arbitrum Sepolia. You can see that it corresponds to something that we have here. Let's copy this number here, which is the latest block. You can see that it corresponds because we, it's like it might see a little bit different, like, but it's almost same thing in the sense that that's like the current block height that has been verified and validated. So that's how it works basically. Oh, sorry, I said something like the block time is 0.26 seconds, 0.26 seconds, depending on the traffic. So we have a lot of transaction coming in, so it's going to be like around that time. But if there's no transaction coming in, there might not be any block. So, yeah, so it's dependent on the number of transactions that we have. Yeah. So a lot of things can also do again. We can do basic conversion, like what we did earlier. We got this account, this balance from the blockchain. But how do you now convert it? If you come here now to this index, you can see that I added this line of code, ethers.utils.parseUnit, which is a way of converting from one value to the other. So you can convert from ether to way and any value that you like. So if you want to convert, you can use this simple line of code to convert your units. So there's another one called format ether, which is also like an opposite of this one. Let me show you the difference between the two now. Come here. So you can see this, copy this, then bring it here. Then let me remove this. Let's say the balance I want to convert. So this is it here, and you can see console log. So when you say console log, let's go and check what we have. Yeah, invalid decimal, blah, blah, blah. That's because we didn't actually use the right one. It should be format ethers. It should be format ethers. This one is going to convert from way to ether, which is what we want to do actually. We want to convert from way to ether. You can see that we're getting 0.0092 now. Let me try to comment out the rest so I can see that balance now. Let me try to comment out this block number, comment out this account. The only thing we have is this number here. Let me refresh my screen. So this is the number that we have here now, 0.0092470054, which corresponds to what we saw on the Explorer the other time. So let's move forward a bit. Let's now say we have like ether. I want to convert ether to way. You can easily do that by saying, let me copy that from here. So I'm saying console.log, then ethers.utils.parseUnit. So now the first argument is the value in ether that I want to like convert. I can say 1, then ether. So this is going to convert this from this 1 ether to way. Let's check our. What was this? We're getting an error. Oh, it must be string. Sorry, this first argument must be string, not number, it must be string. So yeah, you can see that we're having a big number. And that big number, the hexadecimal format is this. And let me copy it, hexadecimal format, and paste it. You can see that it's one ether in actual sense. And the main reason why we are seeing big number on the screen is that there's a limit to the amount of number JavaScript can handle. So for JavaScript to handle more number, that's why we have big number. So you need to do like extremely large computation that involves like quadrillions, billions, all those stuff, like extremely large numbers. So you cannot use normal integer, you have to use a big number. So that's what you can't use normal number, you have to use a big number. So that's just why we have big number over there. Now let me now show you another interesting thing we can also do with Ethers.js. When you come here now, you can also send transaction. So how do you send money from, how do you send funds from one account to the other? So you need some stuff. You can see that you need the two, which is the receiver. You need the value of the Ether you want to send. Also, you need the gas price. That means you can customize the gas price, and I will show you that very soon. Let's try to remove every other code that we've done so far. Let's try to remove it. The moment I remove it, you can see that we don't have anything on the screen again. It's only the provider and also the ETH request account method that we have on the screen. So the next thing is for us to get, there's something called a signer. And for us to get a signer, we can only get a signer through the provider. You can see console.log provider get signer. So this method is enough for you to get the signer. I don't think it's there. Let me check. Okay, it's here. So okay, I wanted to copy before. So it's this is the line of this is what you need to get the signer. And let's try to refresh. Pro is not defined. I will get the error form. Okay, yeah, you can see that we are getting the JSON RPC signer. So this JSON RPC signer, what's RPC? RPC is remote procedure call. So there are different type of approach to writing your API. We have RPC approach, we have REST approach. There are some people come up with GraphQL and stuff like that. So one way you can use to write your API is using RPC, which is remote procedure call. And it allows you to call a function on your remote computer as if you're on your own computer. So it's like accessing a remote computer, like someone in maybe in Canada, someone in Ghana, someone in Sierra Leone. You can have access to their node and perform transaction on it. So that's what RPC is all about. So that's just high level definition of RPC. It allows you to do stuff on a remote computer. That's why we call it remote procedure call. So it's what we use for the for calling like making sending requests to contract and also performing transaction and querying the blockchain. So when you get the signer, you can see there's a signer here already. We have this signer, and that's all we need. You can now store the signer inside the variable because we'll be needing it later on. So signer is equal to this. So that signer can do basically anything you want it to do. It can send transaction to the blockchain. It can, also query. You can also query transactions. It can also, call smart contract and stuff like that. So but this provider is read only. This one is read and write. So that's it. So you can say const, then transaction that you want to send. You can name it anything. It's equal to an object. And inside your object, you can have the to. Who are you sending it to? Then it's going to be an address, right? The address of the receiver. who are you sending it to? So let's do something very simple. I'll go to my MetaMask now and create a new account. So I've added account 3. You can see that there is no fund in account 3, 0 ETH. I'm going to copy account 3 and bring it here. So let me console log all the accounts that I'm connected to. So yeah. Then what's the value that you are sending? You can say value. What's the value of the ether that you are sending? You can do that by, we did something earlier. We said ethers.utils dot pass unit. So you can do something like that. This is going to allow you to specify the amount of ether you want to send. So let me say I want to send 0.1 comma ether. So it's going to format it in way for you. Then next thing is, let me check how many ether do I have. Okay, I have up to a whole ether, so I can't use 1 ether. So let me just do something like 0.005, which is going to be like small amount of ether. Let's say gas price. The third argument is the gas price. So how much are you willing to pay for your gas? It is always priced in GUI. You can say ethers.pass unit and say 0.5 GUI. How do I know this value? You can check it. It's always when you want to send transaction on your MetaMask. It's going to advise you based on the current network traffic. So these I've been able to construct my transaction. If I go to my tab, there's nothing happening. There's nothing special happening. What I can do is that I can say there's a method there that allows me to send transactions. It's called await signers does send transaction. Then you put the transaction as an argument, and that's all you need to send a transaction. So you see, it's very simple to send a transaction on the blockchain without having to interact with your Remix ID or any other browser-based wallet. So we can see that there's await signer.send transaction, blah blah blah. So let's try, signer, not signer, signer. Let me refresh. You can see the moment I refresh is prompting me to send 0.5 ether to this particular address, and I can reject. So let me reject all of it. So the moment I reject, it's going to fail. If I refresh and I accept this time around, it's going to succeed. Let me just confirm. The amount I'm sending for the GUI the other time is very small. So let me check other value I can use. Let me go to advanced. You can see that it's 0.5 GUI. So, but what am I using? I think I'm using 0.1. Let's try to reject. Let's go back to our code. And okay, we are using the right value actually. So there's no need basically. So let's just confirm. I can still, let me reject again. I want to increase my gas price. Let me increase my gas price like 1 GUI. The moment I increase it, it's going to load. And you see that this time around, it's showing me that transaction may succeed in like 30 seconds. And that's because I increased my gas price. If you want your transaction to be faster, you have to increase your gas price. Then that's going to increase the amount you'll be paying. So I can say confirm. And the moment I confirm, it's going to succeed. So far, I have enough fund in my MetaMask wallet. If I go to my MetaMask wallet and I check my account, you can see that there's a reduction in my balance. It was 1 point something before, it's now 0.08. If I switch to account 3, you can see that I have 0.05 already in my other account. And this is just a very simple way of writing, your codes. So if you are very creative, you can try to build a very simple wallet, which is not something hard. You can just come here and say, maybe you can have like input tag that will allow you to type your, you can say text, type value. Let me try to comment this out. You can say type, you can say value, amount. You can say this. And have something like this. Let me say address to send it to. So you can have a placeholder. Amount. Placeholder. Address. Let me speak. So if you have any question, please unmute and have so that we can address it.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So my question is, when you wanted to set the gas price, you set it based on what you saw in the wallet. Is there a way you can actually get it programmatically from your code without checking wallet, or that's my question?
Yes, there's a way you can get it. You can use the same method. You can say ETH gas get gas price. You can get the gas price by running that. That's a very good question, actually. So should we demonstrate that now?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure, we
let's
can.
do that. Okay, let's do that.
Thanks.
That's a very good question. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Come in. Can you guys see my screen? Hello, please, you can see my screen, please signify. Okay,
Yes, we
that's
can see your
awesome.
screen.
So what I will do is that once you get it from programmatically, I'll use this same approach. I'll say const, you can see provider dot end, then say ETH get gas price. Then we can have the parameter like this. Then we can say const, sorry, let's await it. Await. If you await this function now, you can console log it, console.log this. So on logging it, this is on line 16, right? So I come here and I open my this my console. I should be able to sorry. You can see an array. So this is okay, let me try to save it again. Let me refresh. Oh, it's not available. Wow, ETH get gas price is not available. Sorry, is it ETH gas price, not get gas price? That's an error from my side. ETH gas price. Sorry. Yeah, so you can see that there's value here. So that value is in way, and you can see that that's value the current gas price. So if you convert this value now, let me go and convert it. Let me see where you see that 0.1 GUI. That's the value that I also used. The other time I used 0.05, actually brought out some errors, and you can see it too. So what you can do now is I can just put this one here like const gas price is equal to this. So you can now put the gas price there. Let's try to send the transaction now. Although the gas price is very, very low, but you can still work with it. Let's say confirm. Come here. Okay, you can see that the balance is now 0.1 ETH. So that's how to get the gas price by calling the ETH gas price method. And also, yes, Ether should also have something like this. Let me try to console.log await provider dot get gas price. I want to check whether there is a method like that. If it exists, we should be able to see. Yeah, you can see there's the value on line 18, which is the gas price. Let me try to like comment everything. Consider there's a big number, and that big number is equivalent to the same thing, which is that one way. So if you don't want to use this approach that I used earlier, this one, you can also use this approach. See the same value that you'll be getting. This low level, and this one has been abstracted by Ethers.js. So that's it. So I hope I've been able to answer your question properly.
Yes, thank you very much, boss.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Any other question from anyone? So I'll be dropping the code on our GitHub so that you can have access to it right now and start working on your assignments. There's no time. I have a lot of things to cover. Is there another question from anyone? Please, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Hello. If you have any question, please feel free to unmute and ask. Okay. So since there's no question, can we stop recording?